Hello and welcome to another Wish You Were Here Today. Now, at this time of year, a lot of people start planning their holidays, and we've got some really good ideas for you on today's show. And one of you might have that holiday sorted sooner than you thought. In fact, by the end of the programme, because we're giving away another fantastic holiday prize in our competition. All you have to do is answer this question. Now, that's less than the price of a first-class stamp. And as I mentioned earlier, we'll be announcing the name of the lucky winner at the end of the programme. But in the meantime, where have our travellers been to? You'd think that Sir Steve Redgrave would be used to messing around in boats. Well, not that 5 Olympic gold medals is exactly messing around. Well, obviously he's used to rowing boats, but he'd never been on a cruise. Well, that was until we found out and dispatched the Redgrave family on their... Now, it's a good job that Sir Steve wasn't paying for the passage through the canal all by himself, because the most expensive toll ever paid by a cruise ship was $142,000. The cheapest was paid by a swimmer. Why you'd want to swim through the Panama Canal defeats me. And that was in 1928, and it was 36 cents. Don't forget, you've still got time to win a holiday in today's competition. The lines are only going to be open for the next few minutes, so we can announce the winner before the end of the show. And remember, calls cost just 25 pence. And stay with us, because there's all of this still to come on Wish You Were Here Today. Welcome back to part 2 of Wish You Were Here Today. Now, if you like to be in charge of where you go and what you do when you're on holiday, you might want to try Greek island hopping. I loved it when I did it, and it doesn't cost very much, which is never a bad thing. I had 7 days to travel wherever I wanted, ferries permitting. The starting point for this holiday is the port of Piraeus, Athens.
This is a bit of an adventure. No pre-booked boat, no planned hotel, and only a vague idea of where I want to go. And unlike other trips, there's only 3 of us, just Fred, Tim and me. This way we should get the true feel of island hopping. Only a few hours ago we were in Gatwick, and now we're in the midst of the Aegean Sea.
Well, this is the fast boat to Naxos in the Greek Cyclades, my first stop. The journey time should be about 4 hours, and it cost about £20. Now, there is a ferry I could have taken for half the price, but it takes twice as long to get there. And I think on a short trip like this, you want to get out into the islands as soon as possible. Well, here we are in Naxos, but the island I actually want to stay on is called Kalphanicia. I think that's how you say it. It's so small that I hadn't even heard of it until a few minutes ago when I found it in the guidebook. Right, there's a boat here at 10 o'clock tomorrow to Kalphanicia,
but we really want to get one today. That's the one.
Well, that was easy enough. 3 tickets to Kalphanicia for myself and the crew. The boat's called Sklopper something or other. Leaves at 3 o'clock, and they were £4 each.
So there's no hanging about.
Scopolitus.
This ferry is much smaller than the last one and slower. It stops at lots of islands en route. It's actually much more like the island hopping I remember. On deck, sitting on your backpack, watching the world go by.
Now, a few tips for successful island hopping. Buy your ticket before you get on the boat. They don't sell them on board. And shop around. Lots of different boats service these islands, and some agents will only tell you about the companies they represent. My backside is flat, 2.5 hours on a very uncomfortable seat. But anyway, here we are in Kalphanicia with nowhere to stay. I'm gonna go and try and find somewhere now.
The hotel owners flock to the port to offer you rooms. It can be a bit hit and miss.
Right, there's Melissa's rooms over there for €15. I mean, my math is bad, but that's, what, about £10? That seems too cheap. I don't want to go there. The boys probably will, because it means they can spend more on beer, but... Oh, all the vans are going. I'm getting nervous now. How much your rooms cost?
It's with 15 and 20 euros. It's the most beautiful place in the island.
The most beautiful place in the island? We cannot go wrong with that. So we're out of town. Are you happy with out of town?
Yeah, okay.
That's very good, thank you.
Let's give it a go for the evening.
Okay, yep.
And if you can't stand what you've opted for, the bus will bring you straight back to town.
Right, time to find out what €20 buys in Kalphanicia.
But first, some sleep. It's been a long day.
Well, €20, which is about £13, will get you this. Beautiful, clean, spacious double room with a fridge. Through here we have an ensuite bathroom. The water is solar heated, which is great, but it's actually a little bit salty, which is not that great, especially when you're cleaning your teeth. But you know, for £13. And your room is practically on the beach.
And something else I really like about this place is nobody gets up early. It's 11:30 now and people are just about hitting the beach.
Daydream. I fell asleep amid the flowers.
There are 4 beaches along the coast here, and the general opinion seems to be that the furthest, 35 minutes away, is by far the best. I don't mind the walk. I'm not carrying the camera. It is fantastic here. Just look at that skyline, not a building in sight. But bearing that in mind, you do need to bring everything with you. Sun lotion, food, particularly water. But something you don't seem to need to bring with you on this beach is a swimming costume. Well, I'm just about to arrive now on the Greek island of Santorini. Well, just like before, I've got to find somewhere to stay. Except I think this is going to be a lot more expensive. Santorini is well and truly on the tourist trail. I reckon we're going to be paying at least double the price for the same sort of room. Just look at these guys, they're held back by a fence. I don't know where to start. I think we want to stay in the main city of Thera, or main town. You have a view over the caldera?
Oh, I know in Caldera.
All these very tempting, nice pools. Tim, what do you reckon? Swimming pool or view?
Swimming pool, as soon as possible, please.
Oh, God. Oh. I reckon we're not going to find one with a view here, so I think possibly we might go for the swimming pool, book in for a night, and then, you know, have a look round. We chose somewhere eventually. It looks very nice. Oh, it's got a swimming pool, and the rooms are €25 a night, so I was completely wrong about the price. The last place was fine for one night, but the reason I wanted to stay in the centre of Thera is this, the view over the caldera. It's an unusual town, brightly painted and terraced down the top part of the cliff. We found the best way to get rooms in caldera-facing hotels is just to walk in and ask at about midday, the usual checking out time. The town of Thera is actually perched on the lip of a volcano, and you can follow the line of the crater all the way around to Santorini's southernmost tip over there. About 3,500 years ago, there was a gigantic volcanic explosion forming the caldera we have today. But not everyone arrives by ferry. Santorini is a major cruise ship stop. Passengers descend in their droves on the town in the afternoon, watch the sunset from the rim, and then sail away. For me, that's not what the Greek islands are all about. Island hopping leaves you free to choose and really get under the skin of the place. But I do agree this is a spectacular place to watch the sunset.
Well, you can get the ferry all the way back to Athens from Santorini for around £20, but it is a bit of a schlep. It takes about 8.5 hours. So what I did, so I could spend more time sunbathing with a bottle of Retsina, was to fly back. It's only around 50 quid, and obviously it's a lot quicker. Now, trying to find a place to park your car is not my idea of a holiday treat, but of course there are ways to avoid the traffic. The most obvious one being, leave your car behind and head out on foot. Well, that lot certainly didn't let a bit of bad weather ruin their holiday. And apparently, celebrities don't mind a bit of damp either. Woody Allen, Bill Clinton, the Kennedys and Terry Wogan have all stayed in the hotel where Rodri started his tour. Well, that's all from me. I'll be back again tomorrow with chance for you to win your own holiday in our competition. And don't forget, today's winner is coming up very shortly. Who knows, it could be you. See you tomorrow.